And we here with another episode. Of course, we work hard. We burn the midnight oil. We back again with Frankie
We up
football.
in here. We up in here grinding, man. We like two shoe chefs, you know. We in the back and we prepping it up, man. We cooking up the food and we doing our thing, man. That's how we get down to Franklin football, man. I'm setting it off, Chris, my main man,
Brandon,
BH.
you already know it. So,
Right, man.
Chris, I was just sitting down, today, scrolling on my
Right.
phone,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw something. Marcus Mosier, a reporter, one of those media guys. He works with the Cowboys a lot.
Right.
He was quoted as follows: One NFL coach ranked Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott as the 11th best running back in the NFL. And
Okay.
that NFL offensive coach said, very few breakout runs, doesn't look as strong anymore, feels like he's about 60 to 70% of what he was.
So, what's your question, Big? What's your question, BH?
Are they drug testing these guys?
Well,
I mean the coaches.
It goes back to a recency bias that most people have, because correct me if I'm wrong, going from 2019, 18 to 2019, the straw that stirred the drink, according to Stephen Jones and everyone else, was Zeke Elliott.
That's right.
Zeke Elliott was the guy. If you were going to beat the Dallas Cowboys, you had to stop Zeke because no one trusted Rayne Dakota Prescott's arm.
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay. I'll put it this way: the word out was, if you stop the run, you stop the Cowboys, because they didn't believe that passing the ball, that Dak could beat you throwing the football.
And in 2018, we also had Tom, Dick, and Harry at receiver before they made the
first
call
8 games
for
of the season. Right, until Amari Cooper came, and then you turn around and get a number one, because number ones are because they're number ones.
Absolutely.
You turn around and gave him a number one receiver. He was totally different.
That's right.
So now it turns around that now he turns around in the offseason and he demands his money. He comes back in 2019 and he just does for 1,300 yards and gets 12 touchdowns. But he doesn't look like he is. He doesn't look as strong. So here are a couple of reasons why I believe people try to hold that against Zeke Elliott. My first thing is they don't watch film to the point of understanding that you had the 32nd ranked special teams in football. I will go to that until the end of time. When you are ended up starting with long stretches of field, it takes away a lot from you running the football all the time. You got a long way to drive the football, so you're going to throw the ball a little bit more. The emergence of the passing game with Dak Prescott, with the emergence of Michael Gallup, as well as Amari Cooper doing his thing, I think that worked against you. You had 3 viable options, and you had another dude who was at least falling down in slow motion for 500 yards. You had him throwing the football. And so they look at that. But they also miss the fact that the only other guy off the top of my head, and there's one other guy, and I wasn't able to look him up, Brandon, who's had a quarterback that's thrown for 4,500 plus yards and had 1,300 yards rushing, is the Hall of Famer. And Zeke Elliott's really good friend, Marshall Faulk.
Hey.
So it doesn't happen. You're not going to have a quarterback throw for so many yards and then turn around and have a running back go for 1,500 yards. But because he has a contract making the money he makes, he's supposed to do that.
But Chris, Dak threw almost 600 times. He threw 596 times. And they had long fields all season. And they had 2 1,100-yard receivers. And Zeke Elliott didn't catch the ball as much as he did in 2018.
He didn't have to catch.
He still had 1,300 plus yards, Chris.
He hasn't had to catch the ball the way he did before since they've gotten Amari Cooper and the emergence of Michael Gallup.
That's true.
The goal is you've got 2 stellar outside wide receivers and a really serviceable and very wealthy slot receiver in Randall Cobb now. So you're going to take the ball out of his hands.
Absolutely.
So even with you taking the ball out of his hand, he still went and got you 1,300 yards
That's
and
right.
12 touchdowns.
And half of the games in the season, he ran for 100 or more yards. Including, against against the Rams, who embarrassed us in the playoffs, and including against the Eagles, who in their own right are a very good defensive team. So for Zeke to get what I think is disrespect, I'm gonna call it like it is. I think it's disrespect. A guy gets 1,350 and 12 touchdowns, and you said that he fell off.
It goes
you
back.
think that Frank Lucas ain't got the blue magic no more? Because
listen, man, listen. They spiking it. They don't trust it. They doing something with it, but it goes back to the disdain that people have for the Cowboys players. They expect, because of who they are and because of the name, because where they play at, and because people love them, they're supposed to have all pros everywhere. But when guys go and perform, you got to give them their respect. But they don't want to. They want the shiny toy. They like the Christian McCaffreys. They like the Saquon Bartleys. They like the Nick Chubbs. And those guys are really good football players.
Yeah,
but when you start putting Dalvin Cooks and Chris Carson's, and you turn around and say, Derrick Henry's better, when Derrick Henry did get on a roll. But you know what? Derrick Henry looks like what Zeke had to do in 2016, 2017, 2018. Because nobody trusted the quarterback.
That's right.
But now you get trust in the quarterback, and now his numbers go down to 1,300 yards and 12 touchdowns. He fell off. He doesn't look as powerful. When Zeke
goes down,
the guy has not gotten less than 900 yards in a season since he's been in the NFL.
That's right.
1,600, 1,900, 1,500, 1,300. Guy's a machine.
I'd be hard pressed to find 10 guys, because this anonymous NFL offensive coach, and he know good and well he'll never come out and say this publicly because people will want him drug tested immediately. This guy, I would be hard pressed to find 10 guys that I would rate higher than Zeke Elliott. In my top 10 running back list right now, I have 2 guys above Zeke Elliott: Christian McCaffrey and Saquon Barkley.
I ain't got nobody in front of Zeke.
I can't hate on you for believing that.
I can't have anybody in front of Zeke, because the guys that they love that are in front of Zeke, they don't win football games. They get a lot of yards. Yeah. They don't win a lot of football games.
Yeah.
I mean, last time we saw Chris McCaffrey, they lost like eight in a row. But he put up a lot of yards.
Absolutely.
Last time we saw Saquon Barkley and them, they were losing games. They were giving away games to the Eagles where they should have won. I mean, so, last time we saw Zeke play, they were to the point where they should have won the game. I put that a lot on coaching, not the talent around him. I put that on coaching. They should have won games.
Because coaching matters.
They should have won. Hey, listen, man. If you don't know nothing else about Franklin football, and if you don't know that Brandon's daggum going to bring you great content, I ain't going to do but scream on you. The one thing you better learn from here is that coaching matters. Coaching matters, and it's huge. And so I believe that him not having a full off season kind of worked against him to a certain extent. But even without a full off season, the dude still gave me dang that 1,300 yards and 12 tubs.
That's right. And another 400 plus in the air. We're forgetting about that.
Most guys that's a career year for guys. But that's a drop-off year for him.
Absolutely. That's falling off.
That's falling off, man. He's well on his way out the league.
I am waiting for the day when this anonymous NFL offensive coach comes out and says this publicly.
Ain't gonna happen, man. He ain't coming out. They're not gonna come out. Listen, they come out this year, and let's say they do 1,000, 1,900, Jarwin gives me 800. Rain throws for 35 touchdowns, right? And Zeke turns around and rushes for 1,500 yards, right? Because he's going to be running against less boxes and scoring more points. And you turn around and get the NFC Championship in the whole nine, people are going to be like, oh, is it enhancement of Mike McCarthy? They're going to end up seeing that Jason Garrett held him back 2 or 3 times a year. They're going to see that the special team was better. They're going to find a way to discredit these young guys, no matter how it turns out. They're not going to give them the love that they deserve. They're going to find it, well, hey, because they added CeeDee Lamb, that's why they're better. Mike McCarthy helped Dak stop being mediocre, that, and the other. But when it just comes to being a running back, I don't have anyone above Zeke at all.
That's right.
And if I'm starting a team, I'm starting with him.
And I take that check to the bank every day.
Every day. Do I like Saquon? I like Saquon for one big running game, but I don't see him imposing his will in the fourth quarter like I've watched Zeke do for the last 4 years and win me a football game down the stretch. I've watched him do that. And now with the addition of Tony Pollard, I really believe that's a great thing. I had someone try to suck me in, to an I Am Legend conversation talking about, well, because if he makes that kind of money, he shouldn't come off the field. I've just never understood people who, because a guy makes X amount of dollars, he never gets tired. He's not supposed to get a rest. He's not supposed to get a breather. He's just supposed to play like he's on Madden and play every game and run every game and run as if his life depended on it. So I fight against that daily on Twitter.
Hey man, just gotta weed through the idiocy. That's all that I can say.
Bob and weed and help the good get even, man.
Absolutely. So that's what we wanted to really touch on today. We wanted to keep this one kind of short. Just talk about, even at the professional level, some people just dumb. That's how we gonna say it.
Yeah, some people just aren't good. Some people, but what we would like for you to do, man, in the comment section, man. First off, as always, like Brandon says, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, help us get up in the algorithm. But also, man, give us your list. Who do you think? Who would you take? How would you rate your running backs in the league so we can interact, man, and keep this discussion going, man? We love spending time with you, man. We love talking ball with you guys. Got some more different things we want to do. But this is Set It Off Chris, man.
And I'm Brandon. Thank you for your time. This has been Frankly Football. Peace.
Peace.